Hello, my bookworms. Welcome back to my channel. It's not your channel. This is my channel. This is Avi's channel. Hello, my bookworms. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney, and today's video is not really sure what it is. It's kind of like a March wrap up, and I guess you'll understand why here in just a second. So hey, what's up? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. Like I just said, this is kind of a March wrap up. And by kind of, I mean that 6 of the 8 books that I read in March, I can't really tell you guys about yet, because all of those 6 whole books were part of secret reading vlogs that are coming out pretty soon. One of them is like next on the list to be edited after this video. So you'll be getting one of them pretty soon, and I can give you a sneak peek of what is to come, perhaps, mayhaps, in that video. But before we do that, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is Book of the Month. Book of the Month. You know them, you love them. They are a super popular and fast-growing online book service for readers. Their mission is to support new and emerging authors every single month by vetting and curating an amazing list of 5 to 7 books per month for us to choose from so that we can spend less time researching and more time reading. My favorite thing about Book of the Month is that it is absolutely risk-free. If you are not psyched about any of the titles that are chosen for that particular month, you can either choose from one of the staff members' favorite books, or you can skip and then pick up the next month right where you left off with no fee. Book of the Month does only ship to US addresses, but it is the place to get the highest quality hardback cover book for only $9.99 using my code BOOKWORM. You can click the link down in the description and use that code to get your first box for $9.99. If I had to choose from all of these amazing selections this month, I definitely would have chosen True Biz by Sarah Novich. This term, True Biz, is an American Sign Language slang that could be translated as seriously, literally, dead ass, no kidding, or real talk. This is a story of sign language and lip reading, cochlear implants and civil rights, isolation and injustice, first love and loss, and above all, great persistence, daring, and joy. Absorbing and assured, idiosyncratic, and relatable, this is an unforgettable journey into the deaf community and a universal celebration of human connection. If you know anything about me, then you know that I aspire to be fluent in ASL, or American Sign Language, and the synopsis of this book just sounds absolutely incredible, and one that I definitely cannot wait to get into. If that doesn't pique your interest, then don't worry, because there is also a historical fiction selection this month called The Good Left Undone by Adriana Trigani, or the fantasy pick titled Kaike by Vishnavi Patel, a narrative nonfiction called Bittersweet by Susan Cain, or the mystery pick, which is Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett. You can find out about all of these books in depth through that link in my description, and if you decide to sign up, then don't forget to use my code BOOKWORM. Thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video, and now let's get into this kind of wrap-up video. Like I said before, 6 of these 8 books that I read in March are all actually part of secret reading vlogs, so I don't want to go into depth about them here before those vlogs come out, because I gotta keep some sort of intrigue happening here, you know? So stay tuned for those. I promise at least one of those vlogs is literally the next one that you will see. Okay, so first off, let me tell you about the 2 books that I can actually talk about. One book that I read this past month was The Maid by Nita Prose. This one is about our main character, Molly, who has been living with her grandmother for pretty much all of her life, and she's neurodivergent and has trouble reading other people's intentions and emotions, and once her grandmother dies, she's kind of like lost. She's without her guide. But she gets this job as a hotel maid, and she somehow gets roped into this big ordeal thing and is at the center of an investigation because she finds one of her hotel patrons dead in his bed. And then it's this whole thing. And she is trying to also figure out how he died, what's going on, etc., etc. This book has been pretty much all the rage. People have really, really liked this book. So I had reasonable expectations, I could say, and I thought it was fine. I really liked our main character, and obviously there are other characters in this book who know that Molly might not be understanding everything that's going on to a T, and they are obviously taking advantage of her for that, which is terrible, and it's kind of difficult to read because, I want to go protect her. I want to go, kick these dudes to the curb and tell them what's up. But the story itself, I felt just kind of lukewarm about it. It wasn't boring, but it wasn't necessarily exciting for me either. And I can definitely see why people really like this book. I just think that the story itself was a little slower paced or not as actiony as I think that it could have been. So for that reason, I'm giving it a 3. It is a higher 3, but it's a 3, which is still fine. But the next book that I read this month was a kind of a mood read. And I'm just now realizing that it's also part of a vlog. But I'm gonna tell you about this one anyways, because I love it so much. It has become one of my favorite books, I believe, ever. And that book is Writers and Lovers by Lily King. Wow. This book I read in one day, one sitting, and it was one of those times where I had been sitting on the couch for 4 hours and it only felt like I was reading for like 25 minutes. In the story, we're following our main character, Casey, who was devastated by her mother's recent death and a failed love affair that she had been in the middle of. And now she has arrived in Cambridge, Massachusetts in the summer of 1997, not really knowing where to go from here. She is a writer and she's been trying to finish this one book for about 6 years now. So she wakes up early in the morning, tries to write, and then she will work lunch and dinner shifts at her waitressing job. And I just thought that this book was absolutely stunning. I knew on the very first page, just from the writing alone, that I was going to have a good time at the very least with this story. And then by page 27 or so, I realized that I'm reading a book that's going to become one of my favorites. And it was such a great feeling, and I just literally settled back and let it tell its tale, and I was underlining, bracketing so much throughout this book because I felt like I saw myself. So many instances. And one thing in particular about this book, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to adequately like describe how I feel, but there were so many times where I would read a paragraph or read a situation that was being explained and I would almost have like deja vu. I would have this feeling that like I have lived that, or I have felt viscerally like what our main character was thinking, feeling, or going through. And that's never happened to me before. I don't even know if maybe I was just like having a day and then this book just happened to be happening on that day, but it was happening and it was such a great time. Very surreal, very strange, but regardless, I thought that this book was stunning. The writing was impeccable and the story itself, like I just ate it up. I thought it was freaking amazing, okay? 5 stars. And now let me just kind of list off those other 6 books that I read this month that I'm not gonna really elaborate on because you'll be seeing them again really, really soon. But I still wanna mention them and let you know that like I did read. I can read. But those 6 books that I have read are Jade War by Fonda Lee, The Inheritance of Arcadia Divina by Zoraida Cordova, Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley, Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon, The Charm Offensive by Alison Cotran, and A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. Wow. Last month was such a blur. I literally don't even remember reading these last month. I'm not telling you which ones are for what vlog, but you'll be seeing more of these very soon. But I did read all of these titles in March. Wow. What a time to be alive. So I guess that is all that I have for you today. I feel like this is a very short video, which is fine, but I will be getting some reading vlogs out to you pretty soon. A cute little update is that me and Caleb have finally purchased some appliances for our new house, which is very exciting. And I know I said it in my TBR video, but we're hoping by like 2 months or so from now, we'll be in the house. And I'm telling you, all of the angles that you are going to get from this new house are going to be second to none. It's going to be stunning. My videos are literally going to get the biggest glow up in the world. I hope you're ready because I cannot wait. I cannot freaking wait. But for now, that is all that I have for you. So if you are still watching, is there a goose? Is there a goose emoji? Leave a goose or duck emoji, whatever is available, down below in the comments if you are still watching. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.